I've had one issue when I first started out. I remember one thing you omitted from your manual was when you do take a down payment or the option fee is to make sure that they didn't take a personal loan out to pay that option fee, because that option fee is going to be their down payment when they obtain financing towards the end of the lease period, and that lender will source that down payment.
Yep.
And they have certain rules and criteria, and they could be gifted from a first degree relative or something, but you cannot take a loan out to pay for that. That's one of their rules, and they did that. And so that delayed. We'd extend the lease by another month just so they could shift some money around from their IRA. But that was a big no-no that I learned that I had no idea, and nobody knew about that. Now, I always ask, and I would recommend everybody ask, hey, you're not taking a loan out for this option fee, right? It's coming from you, and they could take it out of their retirement or wherever.
Yeah.
They just can't take a personal loan out. I don't know if there's any other weird rules that I'm unaware of.
So you can't put it on a credit card, obviously. You can't get a personal loan on it. In other words, the money has to be sitting somewhere. It can be in your account. It can be in a 401k. You can actually get it from, say, a grandmother. And so there's a limit to how far off a relative can be for you to get that. But they can gift you that money. But you just have to, at the time of finance, then there's a gift, there's a statement I think you have to have for the lender. But one of the deals I had that went horribly south cost me, well over $10,000. It was, it was a sandwich lease option, and this is many years ago. So it was before 2005. I don't know what year it was, before 2005. Hadn't done a sandwich lease option before, and my business partner at the time had said, "Hey, what's that sandwich thing you're always talking about?" I'm like, "Well, here's how it works.
You can make a lot of money with that, right?"
I said, "Well, here's how it works." Well, then he said, "I got a house. I think it'd be great for it." And so worked out the numbers with the owner, and I don't remember numbers whatsoever. Then, then we started marketing the property, and one of the things I teach is no matter what you're doing in real estate, you never, ever, ever want to become the desperate seller, right? Don't put yourself to become in a position to become the desperate homeowner, the desperate seller. So when people are starting off, especially, I said, don't do a subject to. Don't do a sandwich lease option where you're going to have potential money going out the door, and now you're going to become a desperate seller because you're on the hook.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put yourself in a bad position to make bad decisions, to let someone in a house that shouldn't be in there. So we had this house, and I don't know, we had it for... I don't remember. Maybe I made one, maybe two payments on it. I don't remember. And he said, my ex-partner said, "Hey, I got someone for that house." And I was okay, great.
Yeah.
And I don't think he may have
vetted
pulled
him or
I didn't
it's
vet
just
him.
like, hey, he's got the money. And this is why it's so important. I don't mean to interrupt you, that you vet, the application process that we do, and we view it just like a loan officer would. It's very important because you could get people that have the option fee and can pay the rent, but they just, they can't obtain financing. And so you want to be very careful on who you put in there.
Yeah, and I don't think I even vetted him. I mean, this is years ago. I don't remember. So I broke every rule, and these people got in the house, and then they stopped paying after whatever, maybe it's 4 months. I don't remember. Well, during this time, as they stopped paying, I was breaking off the partnership with my very good friend, and that was a whole disaster trying to end that relationship, because that's business relationship, everything that's interwoven in there, plus the friendship, because we used to go to Florida every year, so it was just a disaster. And now I've got a house that they're not making payments on, so I'm having to work to evict them. And
did you have any reserves saved up at the time to cover the monthly rent?
I was able to do it, but it was not. It was not fun.
Yeah,
it was not fun, and it wasn't. As I remember, it wasn't super easy because, as I was ending this partnership, there's a lot of financial outgo, and then having to hire an attorney. It was a mess. It was like everything was imploding. And now I got a house that I got to make payments on.
Right.
So I finally get them evicted, and I go to the house, and I've seen countless houses over the years in different phases, if you will, of disarray. This was the nastiest house I'd ever seen, that I'd ever been in. Outside of maybe one that was a hoarder house I went to that I wholesaled. This thing was so bad. You walk in and there was cockroaches everywhere.
Yeah.
And when I say they were everywhere, you walk into a room and cockroaches just run, right? Not these. They were in the door frame. So I would go in with my hand over my head, go like this, because you just know they're going to fall down your. And I walked in, and they were just like, "What's up?" Hey, what's up?
Unfazed.
What you doing in here? They literally did not run. And I'm going through the house. It was so bad that I almost called CPS on them because I knew they had a kid.
What is CPS? Like
Child Protective Services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it was that bad. I'm like, there's no way any human should live in these conditions. So anyway, thank God back then I had, people that did work for me, whether it be handyman people or cleanup crews or whatever. I had all those crews on call. And so I called this guy and I said, man, I got this house I need you to clean out. Got a 20-yard dumpster, and even he was like, this is bad,
Yeah.
And it cost me, I don't know how much, about $10,000 for the dumpster, the clean out for his time, 2 or 3 or 4 empty house payments. The sellers are livid at me because they've gone by and seen this house.
Oh, okay.
And they're beyond livid with me, which I'm like, it's not my fault. And I'm getting it cleaned out. Thank God I found an investor to take over the payments for me. And I was relieved of it because I'm now paying to get it cleaned up, and I'm making empty house payments.
You would have been scrambling to get a new tenant buyer in there.
It would have taken probably easily another $10,000-$15,000 just to get it livable.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. So that was I broke every rule. And you know what? Back when I was day trading stocks, whenever I would lose money on a trade, I would write down every trade, and I could go back and see what rule I broke. And so in this case, I broke every rule.
Yeah, so. And I see that a lot with some students that I've coached in the past. Is they get so focused and so hypnotized on just making money that common sense just falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
And they don't think, well, what if this happens, or what if I, hurt this person? So don't just focus on the payday. Focus on helping everybody, and that will bring in the payday for sure.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of the Lease Option Experience. I hope you got a lot of information out of that episode. Again, if you have any questions about lease options, email us questions@leasingtobuy.com. Again, that's questions@leasingtobuy.com. And again, if you haven't yet, subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a thumbs up on any platform that you're listening to or watching us on. Again, questions@leasingtobuy.com. And if you haven't, again, go to leaseoptionclasses.com. Get all your free downloads, a lot of great information, including the steps to lease option, my lease option calculator, my seller price sheet, and even my comparison sheet. And again, that's leaseoptionclasses.com. And we've got a lot more training videos there as well. And you can even learn more about the Lease Options 2.0 training information. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.